Hi everybody. So in this video, I'm going to be attempting to make a Midgar style city in Cities Skylines II. And if you don't know what Midgar is, it's a giant round city made of plates from Final Fantasy VII. The city we're looking at now was my first attempt at making a Midgar shaped city, but I want to start over and try and fix a few issues that there were in this city. For one thing, I ran out of room on this right hand side of the map, so this plate ended up much wider than this plate, so it's not symmetrical because I ran out of map. I also wanted to try making it bigger because on this map I was limited by these mountains over here and just the size of area that I had to work with. I also started fairly with a city over here without any of the unlock everything or any cheats enabled. And then I expanded naturally to over here, and then I erased the city that I had over here to begin with. So I'm going to try just using the milestone unlocking thing and not using the unlimited money code for the next one. Since I've already unlocked all the stuff, I basically just want to have the whole map and all the stuff unlocked when I start and start laying things down when the game starts. There are quite a few things I'd like to try and do better, like the way these roads are designed is terrible. It needs better ways of getting cars across from one to another and on and off these main roads. I might also make water in these main channels that divide up the plates. I'm not really sure. And the other thing I'd like to do is make it big enough that this international airport fits in the center of the city. And as you can see now, it's way too big to fit in there. I wish they had a giant skyscraper building that looked kind of like the Midgar Shinra Tower, but they don't. So I tried the Space Needle thing in this one. Probably have some similar stuff like a harbor, even though that isn't really a thing with Midgar. It isn't near any water or anything. But just for this game, it's nice to have a harbor to get your industries out. So I won't be trying to follow it exactly, just trying to follow the like round shape that it has. I tried placing the nuclear power plant to see if that would look like one of their reactors that they have on the edge of each plate, and it looks okay. I might try doing something like that again, but we'll see. Since it is much bigger and this game has performance issues, I might have to fill it with more parks. So we'll see about putting more parks, like maybe a strip of parks throughout all of the sectors on the next one. And other things like when you get into busy downtowns, try and figure out a way to manage the intersections a little better because there was crazy intersection problems. Like, look at this. This is crazy. So I'll try and work on making things like that better. I think a lot of this video and the upcoming videos will be fast motion video of lots of building and planning things out. So yeah. Oh God, is the game freezing? Um, yeah, definitely some performance hiccups with this. That might have been an autosave. But yeah, there's this first attempt of Midgar, and now let's try and do a little better this time. All right, so here's the new Midgar map I whipped together. Base map is the Coral Riches map that comes with the game. I diverted this river that came through here through the middle and came out somewhere over here. I diverted it to go over this way. And then if I want, I can have like harbors inside this river area. And just smoothed it out as much as I could. Although there is a little bit of terrain variety in here still. I got rid of the water. So I think I'm going to try to make water come through the middle where the plates are. I'm not sure how that'll look, but I think I'm just gonna fast forward me doing stuff, and you guys can see what I end up with over a long period of time, because this will probably take a very long time. This might be hard. I might almost need like a road to use as a guide. So this is the thing I want in the middle. So the center part needs to be at least that big. Let's come up with a set angle to have this come off of here at. Because if I don't have the angle, there's no way I'm going to be able to recreate it evenly. So if we come off of this one, and just maybe do a road all the way across. It's like a geometric nightmare. So I'm just going to make these as kind of guidelines. That wasn't really that centered. Problem is I want to make this center area out of water. So I need to have an opening in the middle of these. So kind of like that, and then another one like that. And then that would mark out the center point where there would be water. Oh, what am I on? Level terrain tool?
I'm safe.
There's a faster way to do this. Kind of wish they had the canals that they had in Cities Skylines 1. Can't draw a straight line. That looks kind of terrible hand drawn like that. Maybe if I soften it. Yeah, that helps break it up. Right. This is a terrible idea. So those roads going across might actually be kind of helpful. So this one would go to this side. So it's on the bottom to the bottom. Stop saying overlapping. Right. I made this bigger, didn't I? Man, it's hard to draw a straight line. I wonder if this will just fix itself once I use the soften brush. God, it's so hard to draw a straight line. So this doesn't really end near anything. Can I come over here to this water? All right. I'm gonna have to fix the center once this is done. Probably don't want water in the center. I want an island or something. Now we got overlapping stuff. Maybe we're gonna need to delete these roads. What about now? The only problem with having these be elevated roads is it doesn't stop the brush tool from affecting it when it hits the road. I need to use a ground level road for this. So starting from the bottom to the bottom, from here to there, well, looks pretty straight. And then, well, whatever height these are, we're on the soften tool, grab that height and carve a channel into here. Oh, is that an elevated road? Did I forget to lower it? Must have forgotten to hit the page down button because it's going under the road. I have to replace those because it's not going to contain it in the right spot when I go to do this. Yeah, the road is pretty necessary. All right, page down. This time make it on the ground. Sure does take the water a really long time to fill these up, if it ever does. This is really big. Doing something funky there. All right. Last cross section. Grab that height. Wait, we're not on height, we're on soften. Well, moving the camera does a pretty good job of making it semi-straight. Another autosave. So let's erase these trees that are going to be underwater. This is on 100%, and it still is kind of not doing a good job of getting them all in one pass. Can't go higher than 100%. Setting it to 100% does not delete all the trees, and that makes this take so much longer than it needs to. So this has water flowing in. Let's see if we can open up this channel a bit more without buying that other tile. I want to run out of money. Okay, did I miss any more trees? This one looks like it has trees. Trying to keep the performance as good as we can without having trees under the water and stuff. Gonna be a pretty big city. most of the map. Make sure there's none under this, or less, since it doesn't delete all of them. Right, so I think that's it for the trees, hopefully. So to figure out what to do with the center part, definitely don't want it like that. We want some kind of an island in the middle. Maybe what might be good is like a hexagonal island in the middle. I could maybe use roads to make that. So let's see, how do I do that? Is it 145? And then a bridge across? What is the bridge at? Like 166? 167? Shouldn't this be consistent? Like, I was trying to use the actual numbers and they're just messing me up. So whatever that angle is. So 154, 167? That was the biggest problem I had in the other one, was keeping things consistent. Well, it's not exactly lining up. I wonder how that ended up crooked. That's still not very straight, is it? What if, so that's very, very crooked. What if we try like a square in the middle? Because the airport is a giant square. How big is the airport? Okay. So it needs to be at least that big. Possibly bigger. Let's make it bigger rather than smaller. So if we do square like that, 180 or 90 degrees each time. Doesn't really matter. Mostly just using this road as a guide. And this water will be gone anyway, or it'll be moved. So I think what I'm going to do is, so that center square, I think I made it a little longer that way. Because this side, it did not cross here, it crossed there. It's weird how that doesn't look straight, but maybe the thing they put in the middle is not straight. That doesn't look too bad. Get rid of this. Is that in the center? Guess what it would need to be in the center would be coming into the center of these, but then you can't build there. So to be really square, I think it would end in the center of these. Okay, I think that's square directly in the center now. So that's just a guide so that we can cut a hole around it. Too big. God, I can't draw a straight line to save my life. And then this center part, this becomes an island. Not sure which I like, the cutoff corner or just the square. I kind of like the cutoff corner. All right, looks pretty good. I can probably get rid of this center road. Probably move it inwards when it's final so that it's not right up against the edge of the island. And get rid of these trees. Okay, looks pretty good. Somehow got a fire over here. The question is where to start on this. The highway on yours, or the highway thing's over there, and there's one over here. I'd end up improving those later. Still got plenty of money from the milestone thing. I'm not exactly sure how to handle these side roads. Maybe I'll do the highway down the middle. Before I put the railroads stations right along the inside of the plates, I think in this I'll have the railroads on the outside or maybe the middle of the plate, because before almost no one used it because it only went from there to there to there. All the real transit was done by the metro. So maybe in the middle? I'm trying to figure out where to put the highways. I don't really want to do two highways on each, like one on each plate. Maybe just one down the middle. Now that this has the square in the middle, it's not like a perfect shape. So it's going to be a little weird once you get to the middle here. Let's just try. Let's see, which square to use first, I guess that's the question. This one here. Call this sector 1. So where's about the center of this? About there? I don't know if I like the look of that already. It's either there or along here. Or on the water, but it's not gonna like that. I don't really want to do two. Before I just had one coming off where the water is. It would be cool to have ships and stuff be able to get in here, but that might not be possible because the ships need really high bridges. I'm gonna have to do the middle. So that would be like that. And then I guess this whole thing would have a ring road going around it. Let's back this up. Problem with that is it doesn't line up right in the middle, or it doesn't line up along this edge. I kind of want the road, if that one's right along the edge, I kind of want this one right along this edge. About like that. Um, we could always do a curve. Highways don't usually have straight square turns. It doesn't look very even. How is that not even? Let's see. It's because this one's much closer. So 180 degrees going as far as that. That looks pretty good. Get rid of that. Do the same thing I did. Better pause it or I'm gonna like slowly run out of money while I'm placing these roads. Oh, on curve mode. Am I at one height? Yeah. Okay, that looks pretty good. So then these central roads going through a plate are going to need to merge onto this central road. See if we can make this look nice. Still doesn't really look that nice. It's getting a little big. It's getting way too big. Um, that's probably as tight as that can get. Is this making an underground tunnel? Don't want a tunnel. Yeah, that's just gonna look wonky, isn't it? Might have to use 2-lane. These are just a little big. Oh, come on. Pillars. Oh, we should just auto remove the pillars. Remove them. Gonna need to make a lot of these kind of intersections, unfortunately. Doesn't look like this one's really elevated at all. Hold on. This section here needs to be raised up. It's like the ground is a little bit higher here. And instead of just staying height 1 above everything, it only stays height 1 above where your start and end point is. It's like another kind of annoying thing. Is there any way we can turn this in a little tighter? Not these stupid pillars being in the way? Nope. Pillars are not going to cooperate. So as far as actual main plate roads, maybe some wide roads cutting across this highway with on-ramps getting you into the center of it. Did it really do that again? Gotta fix this as well. Didn't raise it up. It's very hard to play with any kind of terrain elevation with these roads because of how it doesn't make them one unit above the ground consistently. Hopefully they fix that. Hopefully they consider that a bug. I don't see any more roads that did that. These all look fine. Yeah, the rest I don't think bugged out. So we got 6 lanes, 7 lane, 8 lane. Probably just do 6. I kind of want to go crazy with the roads in this one. Like maybe put some roundabouts coming off in here on each side and kind of make it look fancy, even if it's super inefficient. So let's see. Maybe several of them? That's almost impossible to get straight. So we could do it like that and have it at a 90. All right, looks good. So big roundabouts. Oh, they can be placed on this? Oh, there's another autosave. One thing I didn't check was distance. So this is 832 meters, 896 meters. Oh, it's probably going to be a pain to get even. Might have to like delete that side. Doesn't have to be perfect. So 844. Okay, good enough. Let's see. Is this doing weird stuff? A little bit. 75 degrees up to here. Try and emulate that. 75 degrees. It's gonna look kind of off because of how this is hitting a square instead of hitting a flat side. But let's see. If this cuts across under here, wherever it doesn't hit pillars, it's pillars there, it's pillars there, no pillars there. All right. I have one issue with this. This is too close to this interchange to really do much with it. So I think I want to move that down and try and keep it straight with this. Which that's actually kind of hard. Be straight with that. It should come off of this at 90. All right. So maybe get rid of these, or maybe just that one. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, that gets a roundabout. That gets a roundabout. Maybe one more. And roundabouts. Okay. And then freeway off ramps. So we could do something like this. I haven't really tested too many ways of getting off freeways. I wonder if like a double roundabout here is terrible. It probably is, but the problem with trying to have on-ramps and off-ramps right here without that is this would be a stop, And then this would be a stop on this side too. Two stop signs right next to an interchange. I don't think that's going to end well for traffic. Whereas these roundabouts, you don't have any stop signs. So you should just be able to come off of here and cross without ever stopping. These might be able to be 3 lanes wide, and that would give you more room for the cars to pile up. So then this one needs to come up here. I think that looks pretty good. It's not like super hard to repeat a million times either. That's another problem, is probably going to have to manually recreate a lot of these a lot of times. So with these, you kind of just start a ways back, intersect far enough out for a roundabout. What is it doing? It's not exactly straight. I think mainly that one. That one looks wonky. Somehow this one looks cleaner. Looks better with the roundabout. Out to there. That might be too sharp. All right. And the roundabout looks pretty good. All right, so then for the inner roads. So we want as few stop signs as possible, or as few stop lights. It might be cool to have these extend under the road. So let's see. If we do more of these, those can't be really even. How do you get rid of that? Okay. So what if we do smaller roundabouts, and then these center roads won't be, well, they shouldn't be through roads. What if we come up to almost this edge? Really shouldn't have these be through roads. What if we do this? What if we have the usual branches coming off? I don't know if I want these going all the way over there like that. If we do have any roads that have highways or like hospitals on them, they do need to be connected to the rest and not just dead ends. So I think here would be a good spot to have that one connect to the main road with a roundabout. What was that? Another autosave. So the main reason for these ending is we don't want each one of these having another stop sign blocking traffic on this road. We want these to be able to move as unobstructed as possible. I guess we can use the big roundabouts on all of these. So I guess this traveling under here doesn't really matter too much. I just want to recreate this again on this side. There's probably no way, yeah, no way that can cut across. So I didn't connect here. I connected on the next road. And then roundabout. All right. So these might get some traffic. People might cut through here to get back on this road. Hopefully they go this way. One thing I'm not sure about is if I can just start off placing high density. I don't know if that'll work in this. They probably won't go for that. So let's see here. Let's try throwing down some high density commercial along the main roads. This side being that. And see what happens if we turn on the simulation. Which one is... Oh, it's right click for remove, that's right. What if we do like a bit of mixed housing there? And high density there? Oh yeah, the other thing I was going to set up is the railroad. It might have to cut across, like maybe right in here. So I'll try to leave that, maybe railroad there and have a park in here. I don't know yet. Got to get this to be net positive. Losing a lot of money probably to roads. Yeah, that's a ridiculous road budget. This whole map. Let's pause it again. We need to be able to suck in the water over here. Right, that needs a road. So you can actually place it right through the roundabout. It doesn't complain. I'm surprised. So we could either do wind early on. Not a lot of wind. 5 megawatts. I guess 5 is the highest it can go. I guess that's good. So we can plop that. Probably replace all of these eventually, so let's just plop it here for now. And it wants connection. Okay. So then sewer is going to be a bit more complicated. Wherever you dump it, it kind of looks like crap. And it's just going to suck it into the middle of my town. Oh, hey, look, this is an outflow. I might dump the sewer in that. Because if I dump it anywhere else, it's just going to pull it into the town. So we're going to dump this all the way over on this edge, which is going to suck to run the water pipe. But, oh well. Let's try and not cut over to the middle yet. I don't know if this is going to leave like some kind of mark in the water where you can't go any lower because there's a pipe there. Yeah, look at that. You can see where the pipe is. Does that actually affect the water movement? I mean, yeah, it actually does. Hopefully enough water will get in there that it'll fill it up higher than that point. So this should be dumping the water and then it goes out. So we won't have sewer problems. Gonna have to figure out how to handle industrial. Oh, you know what I just realized is the most important thing? The way the wind blows, you don't want the industrial blowing into your city. So honestly, this would have been a good industrial one, but this one would be good too. Or like these two, because the wind is blowing that way. I should have probably looked at that to decide where stuff goes, because you probably want the city upstream from the wind blowing your industrial waste. So I guess I'll do industry here. This actually works out well because the harbor would be right there. Here and here maybe. Because if we put it here or in any of these, the wind will blow the smoke right into the city that I just made. 6-lane divided road. What does that actually do? Add lights? Actually, I don't know if I like this too much. I want to have the bridges going across this be kind of clean. Maybe instead of doing that, I will use highways to cross these. Maybe a highway like either here or here. Raised. That's not raised. It's so hard to tell what it's actually building. What I could maybe do is have the right-bound highway lane there and the left-bound on this left side and kind of have like one way going either way. Kind of distribute the cars a little more coming and going. I kind of think this should cross this at an angle like that. That's kind of hard to tell what is exactly perfectly 90. That looks pretty close. It might be a little high over here. Not exactly sure how I would get that to be perfectly straight. I guess come off of this like I did before at 90. And then this would come off at 90 and it would be straight. Which honestly, this looks pretty straight. God, the deleting is so finicky. So that seems to be exactly 90. And then to change direction, how do you change direction again? There we go. Looks alright, I guess. Try and go under this and back up onto it. That looks pretty clean. Well, actually, this needs to be a through road. So hang on a second, that's actually not right. This needs to like jump over this road, which I guess I could come from this side. Jank is real. Did that elevate it? It didn't elevate. Okay. So that now just keeps going right there. Something like that. So let's see, that would be there. That would be there. So that would get you off and on it going that way. But if you wanted to get off of this, this would have to be like a clover leaf like that. And this would have to be a clover leaf like that. That one's a little weird. It's close to the same. It's maybe a little bit too far down. It might actually be too, is this one doesn't come out as far. That looks closer on the same size gap. Looks pretty even. Kind of weird interchange being single road. Oh, and then all of these are the wrong direction. I hope that doesn't mess that up. Because this should be going this way. And then this would become... Oh crap, it might be backwards now. So that would need to dive off that way. Crap. Should have changed the road direction first. So now that needs to dive down that way. That needs to go up that way. And then this would be cutting around, going that way. And this would be coming off. Wait. It basically does the same thing. Do I need another one? See, you can get off of this and go that way. I guess what it is you can't get off of this and go that way. So that's why I had it doing one of these. It's a bit weird. I don't think this would ever exist in the real world. There's like pillars of visible through that. Good enough. Tired of messing with it. So then there would need to be another road coming through here somewhere. Maybe like the same distance this way. So like roughly right in here, going the opposite direction. And then ramp over this. Change direction again. And straight to here. Trying to have those perfectly parallel. Hopefully that lines up now. Whatever my mouse sensitivity is on, it's crazy. That's a little better. Oh, this whole thing needs to be changed direction. It's going the same way as the other one. Alright. So then now it's going the right direction. Get an interchange thing going here. Always forget to change it to straight. So that like that. And then actually this one's wrong. So that one's coming off and going that way. And then I guess to get on the road. That's not what I want. These weird loop back things. It's probably terrible design. I'm trying to not take up too much room in the middle of the town though. Although I'm sure this is an awful design. I wonder what a better way of doing that would be. Maybe just using a little more room and having it loop back like this. That's like impossible to emulate. That looks kind of more terrible actually. What if we do... What is it doing right now? So it doesn't want to go more than this way or it starts to break apart. It's kind of the only thing I can do. Maybe one of those kind of looks a little nicer. How does that look so different on this side? You like shoot it way out? The slope too steep thing I don't really understand. Huh. It's so finicky. I mean, I guess that'll work. And then this one is that exact opposite. So if you want to get off this way, down to there. Probably a terrible design you'd never want to use in the real world, but good enough. Kind of looks cool from a distance. I think for now I'm just going to connect these at the end. Maybe cross this. Well, I don't know. I'm just going to connect them and then I'm going to come along and clean this up when I finish this side. Because the more roads I have, the more upkeep cost there's going to be, and I'm not actually using infinite money cheat, so I'm gotta kind of keep that in mind. And then this, I guess I can finish it off. Kind of exactly intersecting the water, hopefully. Close enough. And then for now, this can just swing back around. And eventually I'll cut that connector off and do the thing cutting across this plate. But for now, we'll just do it like that to save some time and money. Alright, so now this side is set up with the main highway, and it's going to be an industrial side. So let's see. Can use the same 6-lane road, I suppose. I guess the industry roads are part of Cities Skylines and not in this one. I always forget which parts are in which game. So try and do the same thing as this, I guess. But I think what I'm gonna try to do is this one does a T intersection right here. What would actually be better right here would be a crossing so that there can be a big harbor right here and have the whole industry area saved by the, or served by the one harbor. Could look at the pre-made ones. So these are T's. That's like a small intersection. Here's like a bigger one, but it goes from like a 3-lane highway to a 2-lane road or 4-lane road. Here's the actual highway to highway. Here's an even bigger one, but this looks kind of big for right here. Yeah, that's way too big. So try and get this in the middle. That's pretty close. Okay, that looks good. It's at the correct height. And then this just jumps onto that. What if I try doing the crossing without an intersection? Try going. Oh, I'm on the wrong road type. And that's not even straight. I guess I can stay on the ground. This is probably going to be pretty busy. The industry with the harbor is always the busiest part of the town, I've noticed. So try and make these big beefy 3-lane highways. These need to be changed to go that way. And then do like a 6-lane road along this beachfront area. Let's bring this down. Come off at a 90 so that it's perfectly even. Alright. So at least for that part it's even. And then let's see. This shouldn't really enter right here. Let's do... Let's do a little weird... Whoop, not on curve. turn here. And that becomes an exit area for the trucks, and then the harbor will probably be right here, so they can come in, offload their junk, and then jump back onto this freeway easily. What is going on? Super simple intersection. I think that covers most of the bases though. Probably not capable of holding too much traffic. We don't have much right now anyway. So this needs to either go under or over this. The other one I went over it, so I'll do that again. And same thing here. Is this raising it? It's not raising it enough. Okay. Then let's see. So this would dive down off of that. This would jump back up onto there. And then do one of these weird ones again here. Definitely not ideal, but save space. Not that we have any problem with space. That one seems really big. People are probably going to make fun of my intersections in the comments if I post this online. Terrible, delete it, start over. Alright, so I think we have pretty much the same setup for the highways on both plates. And now do pretty much the same thing that I did on the other one and have a 6-lane road cutting across the whole plate. Hopefully that's straight. Looks pretty straight. And let's see. I don't know if I'm gonna do that again. It does look okay, but so if this is gonna be industrial, let's do slightly different roads getting onto these main roads. Let's do like big, long, sweeping ramps with plenty of room for truck traffic. Why did it do that? It's like one space up too high.
Enough.
Let's see. It's semi-close. The left side is way bigger than the right side. And that looks still really different. Last attempt. I might be curving it out too much. Yeah. That's what the problem is. It's almost straight. Dang it. It like snapped one slot out of the one tile away from where it needed to be. Alright. There we go. Okay. And then this would have side roads coming off of it. Try and do some funky stuff I don't usually do. So these roads are so thick that it changes how thick. Oh, never mind. There's a gap there because of that intersection. I'm dumb. Do I want to have it come off there? Decisions. And the whole point that I'm going for here is you got the freeway coming through that lets people off onto the 6 lane, and then that jumps onto the 2 lane or 4 lane, and then we got the 2 lanes coming off of that. It's just how to have the 2 lanes coming off of that. So the other thing is trying to avoid stop signs on the main roads. Oh, that's kind of weird. You can't have these come straight off the middle. It can only come off the right or the left. Well, for now, just to get the job done, that's probably good. And we can plop down some industrial here. We got water under this. Probably should save some of that for the geothermal plants. And put like a fire station and a police station in these center ones, and the industry on the outside edges, or the smaller side roads. Alright. So I think good to unpause it now. Let the industry start moving in. That's weird, even though it said it was 90, it wasn't actually 90. Oh yeah, we need a connection for water across this. Did that actually connect it? Who knows? Yeah. The whole point with making the highways was to not have these directly connected via small roads. I don't think I've really used these to know how that works. Can I jump across it with this? Overlapping? Overlapping what? The water? Pipes? There. Right, so industry's moving in there. Is there demand looking like? Lots of demand for low density residential, medium demand for high density residential. So I'm going to try to do high density in the middle of this, and then low density and medium density on the outside. So we can add more high density, but I do need to save room for transit. don't know if people are educated for office buildings yet. What else? Mixed use. Let's have a road come up off of that. Don't know where that's ultimately going to end up. So clinic here, I guess. School. Maybe here. You know what I should honestly do? I should have these along these outside edges and have all of the things that serve this inner part be along the outside. That would be kind of interesting. And have all of the things inside this interior part be big skyscraper looking buildings and not these service buildings. Although that's kind of inefficient because they should be in the middle in the beginning, but later you need so many of them to service one small mega city that doesn't really matter. Did the game freeze? Hard to tell what it's doing sometimes. So this is going to be probably low density residential back here. Might be interesting to have them going a different direction from the other big city part of the town and have them going straight up and down instead of left to right like the downtown part. So let's see, we could do maybe fading from medium density right here into low density out here. I don't know if people are going to want low density along this. Maybe this should be businesses. Because that eventually... I actually don't know what that's going to be, if I want to cross the river with that or not. Maybe I won't. What does this say, abandoned? Does it say why things are abandoned? It doesn't. That's helpful. Probably not enough customers or something. Could be lack of education. They might need a high school as well. Alright, well I got more squares placed down than they're moving into now. So there's room for growth. It's like out of power. Maybe these should be over here. Try and face them into the wind. I think these generate pollution. Yeah, they do, so you don't want them near your residential like it is. Probably completely replace these with something else at some point. What is this saying? Alright, I'm gonna fast forward time more. Let's put some parks in. was gonna do a park strip. I could still move things around if I need to. I was gonna do a park strip here. So maybe what would be good would be a small road coming off. And buildings along this section. Maybe mixed use. Wait, not on this side. And then this side of the road would be parks. Put this park here. If you want to place more than one tree type, I wonder how you do that. Place one, place multiple. Doesn't look like you can like select multiple trees and just paint like a forest with a specific type of tree. So if I want to paint a forest of birch mixed with oak, try and keep a deciduous forest going on. Hickory maybe. Let's see what that grows into. And try and keep a strip all along here as forest. Apple tree. Alright. Looks good. And maybe I'll put some paths through this at some point. I'm not sure what to do with this road. Maybe this road is not a good idea cutting through here. Probably want to cut through it as little as possible. Alright. So these are still being abandoned. I wonder what small homes. They live in skyscrapers. Unreliable internet, high noise pollution. How is there high noise pollution? This is such a small city. It's just these 2-lane roads are high noise pollution. Is there any way to improve that? Like if I switch these roads to... Isn't there a way to make them fancy roads? I forget how you did that. Oh, here we go. Roads with trees. If I replace all of these roads with trees, does that help eliminate the noise pollution at all? Oh, you gotta do it twice, once per side. I can barely even see some of these. I don't really know if that made much of a difference. Sure looks better having trees instead of all these cars, although the cars do look realistic parked along the roads. Collapsed. I haven't tried starting out with skyscrapers, so I don't really know how well this will work. Like these collapsed and abandoned buildings. So what do these look like? So it looks like they probably want more residential roads. These are not very straight. So I just built these super long so that it would be straight. Don't need them that long. Let's actually put a park in here. Might be kind of nice. Like, that's kind of small. Tennis court. We got like a small community tennis court right in the middle. Not enough customers. Let's do medium density housing along this edge to try and keep with the theme of having it fading into the smaller buildings. So let's maybe plop down a train station. I'm probably gonna have the train station cut, or the train, or the railroad tracks at least cut through here. I think here is much better than up here. So what I'm probably going to do is let's have a 6-lane divided road coming right through here. Looks pretty straight. And then this can have a train station. Maybe right here. And then this train track is gonna have to cut through this residential area, unfortunately. So I guess let's just keep this coming straight. And we don't really have anything to connect it to yet, but we'll have it there as a placeholder so we don't build something else there and make it impossible to fit it. Hopefully this doesn't hit a pillar, that would be annoying. And then let's go under the road and then lift it up so that we're elevated over everything and can cut under it with roads if we need to. It's being kind of a pain. What is it doing? The thing where it lowers it down is such an annoying bug. So it's one height here and one height here, but less than one height here where there's a little hill. But at least it jumps over the road. Where this dips down, it probably messes it up. Let's turn this off so that it's not costing anything. Right, I think that's probably a good spot to end part 1. Got the outline done for the whole town. Got highways done for 1.5 plates. The side roads coming off the highways pretty well started. Some low, medium, and high residential. Some service buildings placed. So yeah, I'll see you guys in part 2.